In this video, I'm going to be explaining why some siblings grow taller than other siblings, okay? So here's a good example of one already, but let's get straight into the video. So before we even get into the video, I just want to show you guys my credibility. So I went from 5'8" at 17, and I forced myself to have a second growth spurt at 17, and I went from 5'8" to 6'2" at 19. And as you can see, I already had kind of like a grown man body at 17, so it's not like I was a late bloomer or anything. I actually forced myself to have a second growth spurt. And here's some other people I've helped in the past, people who had some good transformations. So, yeah, I just gotta show you guys the credibility. So, here's an example of why some siblings grow taller than others. So first we have the Hemsworth brothers, okay? So we have Liam Hemsworth, we have Chris Hemsworth, and we have Luke Hemsworth. So Liam and Chris Hemsworth spent their whole childhood, trying to train to become actors, Hollywood and style actors. They were, in the gym, they were putting in the work, they were trained like athletes. They were trying to, become a superhero, right? That's the goal, right? Because as you know, he's Thor. I don't know if he does anything, to be honest. I don't really know him for real. But I know Chris Hemsworth, it was Thor, right? So they spent their whole childhood, training to become something, right? Now, on the other hand, their brother Luke Hemsworth is only 5'9". They are 6'3". Like the Chris Hemsworth and Liam Hemsworth are 6'3". Luke is 5'9". And the reason because of that is because he spent his whole childhood just kind of doing whatever, right? He just kind of lived like a normal person. And that caused him to be a lot more shorter than his two other brothers, okay? Now I'm going to show you guys an example of someone who successfully, did this, who successfully utilized their epigenetics. So now we got the Kelsey brothers, okay? So if you don't know already, Travis Kelsey is 6'5" and Jason Kelsey is 6'3". So these are really two tall people, right? And the reason they're both tall and like not one of them's tall and the other was short is because they both spent their whole life in childhood trained to become an athlete. All right, they're both in the NFL. They're both really good NFL players. So that is how, you can do it. So now I'm going to basically explain how this stuff all works and how you can do it too to maximize your development. All right. So we have epigenetics. And it's pretty simple. Everyone has the same genetic potential. So let's say you have like a 5'4" mom and like a 5'9" dad, right? This as an example, right? But maybe you have like a grandpa or like an uncle who's like 6'3". You have those genetics, right? You have a little bit of the genetics because everyone has a little bit of the genetics from different people, okay? So you might have 6'3" genetics, but you think your height potential is only like 5'9" because your dad's 5'9", right? You can get to 6'3" if you just, properly, or somewhere around the 6-foot range. Like you can get like 6'1", 6'3", if you just properly, utilize your epigenetics. Okay, let's do another example. Let's say you have like a 5'10" dad and like a 5'6" mom, right? You might think your genetic potential was like 5'11", right? But maybe you have like a 6'8", grandpa or a great grandpa that you don't know about, and your true genetic potential might be 6'8". And if you just put in the work, you can get there, right? So that's how the epigenetics work. So this is how you optimize your epigenetics. So if you're still in development, you need to be trained like an athlete, like the Kelsey brothers were, and like the Hemsworth brothers were, except Luke. You need to train like an athlete, okay? This is the key. So you need to literally treat your body like an athlete. Act like you're a 5-star, like, best of the best athlete in the world, okay? Just treat yourself like that, okay? Have the confidence of an athlete, live your lifestyle like an athlete, exercise a lot, sleep a lot, eat a lot of healthy foods, like eat only healthy foods, consume some raw fats, and you're gonna really, feel great. Like you're gonna feel like in the best shape of your life, and you're also gonna be optimizing your height growth for development so you can properly get to the desired height you want to be at. So, how you can do this is you can, start going to the gym, or I go to the gym a couple times a week. I recommend you do calisthenics. I'm not a big fan of the gym, in my opinion. I recommend you do calisthenics and play a sport. But if you want to go to the gym to start off, you know, you should do that because it is healthy at the end of the day to, exercise your body. It's better to exercise than just not exercise. You know what I mean? Next is sleep 9 to 11 hours a night. Okay, so this is pretty self-explanatory. A lot of people think they need less sleep than they actually get. I recommend you just sleep as much as you need. So I'm not telling you like go for a specific number, right? We're not just gonna be so analytical with this. You're just gonna listen to your body. You go to bed at the same time every night. So let's say you go to bed 8 p.m. every single night, right on the dot, and then just let your body naturally wake up. When it wakes up, you just wake up, all right? You don't have to, be so analytical with this. Just go to the bed at the same time every night so you don't mess up your circadian rhythm, and then you'll wake up when you naturally wake up. Don't wake up with an alarm clock, all right? And if you gotta go like to school or work, so then next day, just go to bed earlier, all right? It's not that hard. Next is eat a primal diet. So eat a diet that consists of a lot of meat, mainly just meat, right? Meat and fruits. That's basically what we're doing. If it's the spring or summertime, eat fruits that are in the season. If it's the fall or winter time, start eating root vegetables that are in the season. All right. That's how you maintain, the best health possible. And basically eat meats throughout the whole summer and eat more stews like in the wintertime. Next is consume raw fats. So this is something I haven't really talked about too much, but basically raw butter is really good. Raw milk is really good. Raw meat even if you want to do that. So there's a lot of good raw materials you should be consuming because this is really going to help optimize your high growth. Okay. Now, if you're already done with development, I want you to still do the same thing you were doing before. This is going to be a little bit more, advanced, but still do the same thing I talked about as before. So train like an athlete, sleep 9 to 11 hours a night, eat a primal diet, consume raw fats, do that every single night, but start learning to utilize mechanical methods to force your bones to grow, okay? This is something I had to do, right? I had to do this. So I talk about a lot of this stuff in my course and also learn about local IGF-1. So if you don't know what mechanical methods to do, I talk about everything in my course. So if you're interested, check that out. But yeah, mechanical methods will literally force your bones to grow. So let's say your epigenetic potential was like 5'11", right? If you just do mechanical methods, you can span that and get to like 6'5", right? As much as you want. Because you can't. There's no limit when it comes to mechanical methods, right? And local IGF-1 too. You just keep sending local IGF-1 naturally to the bone. You don't have to inject anything, right? You just have my methods, right? So if you're interested, check out the course. And this is going to be my free community right here. And this is going to be my course if you're interested, okay? So, yeah, have this free community. So, we have a lot of members in there. It's hidden right now, but we have a lot of members in there. So just click the link. It'll be linked in the description. Check that out. And I also have some tiers in my Slenderman Methods, the course right here. And if you're interested, check that out too. They'll both be linked in the description. All right. So, hope you all enjoyed the video. And I'll see y'all in the next video. All right.